A very good day to you if you're watching or listening from abroad, and a very good evening to you if you're watching or listening from Kenya. This is the Black Hot Fire News Update at 7. The time is 19:02 East African time. It is 7:02 East African time, and this is what has been happening throughout Africa. Of course, I'll be telling you about what has been happening throughout Africa, starting with Kenya. And of course, I'm also going to be telling you about why we should put an end to natural resource backed loans. And I will be telling you why this discussion today on putting an end to natural resource backed loans, and what those countries in Africa that are practicing are the one that are leading in these natural resource backed loans. So natural backed resource loans are loans that are given by institutions, the loaning institution give it to countries, and that security is payback. They'll take back resources. This has happened in so many countries in Africa. Currently, there are 11 countries in Africa that have loans that are natural resources backed, and I'll be telling you why this is nasty business for Africa, and why we should stop not only with the loans but especially with the natural resource backed loans. But before that, let us look at what has been happening throughout Kenya and throughout the whole of Africa today. And we are going to start with something interesting that Kenya today, where we do not see this that often. But today, a man by the name Joseph Irungu, or Joey as he's famously known in Kenya, was sentenced to death in a murder case that involved Monica Kimani. And this is a sensational story. I'm saying sensational because it has had a lot of powerful people surrounding it. It has had a lot of controversies. It has had a lot of government officials involved with the murder of Monica Kimani. And so today, the main suspect, Joseph Irungu, also known as Joey, was sentenced to death after he was found guilty of the 2018 murder of businesswoman Monica Kimani. Delivering the verdict on Wednesday, High Court Judge Grace Nzioka ruled that the horrific murder of Monica was intentional. She said in the ruling, and I quote, "It was not a defensive act. It was not out of provocation. It was planned, intended, and executed." Based on what I've said, I've ordered that the first accused before this court, Joseph Kuria Irungu, also known as Joey, shall suffer death as provided for the offense of murder under Section 204 of the Penal Code of Kenya. That is the order of the court. So that was the verdict that was read by Lady Justice Grace Nzioka. She's a High Court judge. In delivering the verdict, the judge highlighted submissions by the prosecution on the serious and grievous harm occasioned to the deceased using a dangerous weapon. She further noted the intricate planning of the offense, adding that there was no degree of provocation by the deceased to the accused, hence the murder was not accidental. So she ruled out the fact that the murder could have been accidental by saying there was an intricate plan. The prosecution, which urged the court to consider slapping the accused with a death sentence, described Joey as being criminogenic. They said, Joey, lacks a stable partner relationship. He has antisocial patterns manifested by living on the edge. He is impulsive and a thrill seeker. He uses anger and aggression to control others and has a double personality trait. In her verdict, Justice Nzioka also indicated that the court had also established that Joey, who underwent tactical military training in Dubai, was indeed violent. She said in the ruling, it is the evidence of the brother of the deceased that at one time during the hearing of this case, Joey, blocked his car. In delivering the death sentence, the judge cited the consequence of the offense to the family of the deceased, stating, in this case, it is undisputed that the deceased was the managing director of the family's business in Sudan. I want you to mark the word Sudan because a lot of this case has a lot of Sudan in it, and it has a lot of powerful people in the government involved in it, and the word Sudan comes several times because there was something from Sudan and a whole other story of She further noted, that is Lady Justice Nzioka, that is the High Court Judge Nzioka, she noted that the mother of the deceased suffered depression and a stroke, and that she had hardly healed from the death of her daughter, and so that was the reason why they slapped. That is why they slapped the death sentence on Joey. In conclusion, Justice Nzioka cited 3 quotes on murder to underscore her message. One was, in an act of murder, one's person life ends, but a countless number of lives are forever impacted. The second was, murder leaves behind a trail of shattered dreams and broken hearts that can never be healed. The third quote was, the act of murder is a heinous crime that challenges the moral fabric of society and demands justice. So that was what was happening in Kenya. That was what was hitting the headlines today in Kenya, with the sentencing of Joey. It hit the headlines because we do not see a lot of death sentences in Kenya, but today we saw somebody being sentenced to death on a sensational case that involves a lot of big people and politicians. So he was accused of killing a woman in 2018. Her name was Monica Kimani, and it is a big case in Kenya. With it has been hitting the headlines, that it has been in the public domain for quite some time.
Joseph Irungu, alias Joey, has been sentenced to death for the murder of businesswoman Monica Kimani in 2018. High Court Judge Grace Nzioka, in delivering the sentence, said the murder of Monica Kimani was, quote, intentional. The judge, in her verdict, highlighted submissions by the prosecution on the serious and grievous harm occasioned to the deceased using a dangerous weapon. Well, she further noted that the intricate planning of the offense, adding that there was no degree of provocation by the deceased to the accused, hence the murder was not accidental.
Murder leaves behind a trail of shattered dreams and broken hearts that can never be healed. I have said the accused person before me is 33 years. The deceased was 28 years. Based on everything I have said, I have ordered that the first accused person before this court being Joseph Kuria Irungu alias Joey, shall suffer death as provided for the offense of murder under section 204 of the Penal Code of Kenya. Unless that sentence is lawfully set aside by a court of competent jurisdiction.
So that was the ruling. He will be hanged. That is what the constitution says. The last person to be hanged in Kenya was in 1984, and he was hanged for trying to overthrow the then president Daniel Toroitich arap Moi. So it has been a long time before somebody has had such a sentence, and that doesn't mean people have not been murdering each other. There have been so many murders, including serial murderers like Onyan Chen, the rest, who killed 10 people plus, but Joey was handed a death sentence. And this case is, as I said, sensational, not in sensational in that it has been in the public debate, public domain for quite some time, especially with the fact that there is so much mysterious things surrounding it, with most people believing that the person who was sentenced to death, Joey, was set up. he was never involved in the murder. And the main reason people have been suspecting this is because of the big people that there are so many government officials involved in this case. Even when before this, there were two people accused. There was Joey and another woman by the name Jackie Maribe, but the woman was later found not guilty, and a lot of powerful individuals have been surrounding this case, including cabinet secretaries, including people from State House. And this is what happened to Monica Kimani, and these are the last steps she had. And I want you to hear about how there were a lot of powerful people involved in this matter.
I'm back. I'm back now. See, now I mess with Demore. What's going on, Demore? I got Maria. I got Maria and them running around the studio in Uganda, laughing, dying, laughing. That shit funny. They can't even keep their composure.
Why are they laughing?
Well, see, if you go to the channel, go before you see them. They can't keep. Go to what channel they on? Black Eye Fire Network too, or the Keep Vision channel?
Yeah,
so,
Black Eye Fire Network too.
Yeah, but pull them up. You'll see it on your phone or something, right? So what happened was you know, you've been to Uganda, that those Negroes eat crickets and grasshoppers and shit, right? See, Tomorrow's always laughing. So yeah, so I tried to tell them, Demore, I said, listen, if you're gonna be eating that shit, I said, you guys gotta stop. African people, we knew we couldn't eat that. It has parasites in it, right? I said, and the people that run the world now trying to force everybody to eat that shit, it causes all kinds of debilitating diseases. And they looked it up. They said, yeah, it does. I said, yes. They got parasites on that shit. So I said, Seto, you've eaten so many grasshoppers, one day you're going to come to me. And you see it causes salinity of the brain. It causes you to have dementia. So you're going to come to me one day and be like, Keith. I said, yes, Seto, what's going on? You be like, Seto, what is this, brother? What's going on, brother? I said, bro, that's going to be the parasites on your brain. I said, your mother's going to ask you, Seto, baby, are you coming to church? Mama. So when I did that with Maria, they couldn't hold it. They started laughing their ass off. I said, your mom said, baby, what's wrong with you? Mama.
I was just telling the people over here about somebody from Kenya who was handed a death sentence today for so we hardly see such cases in Kenya, but today somebody was handed a death sentence for the murder of a 2018 murder there are a lot of conspiracies to it.
Okay, let's check it out. See, and I was putting that pause it for a second, and I tied it into more with what you were talking about with the damn sea turtle shit, right?
In Zanzibar.
Zanzibar. So imagine you said so. I'm telling you not to eat the sea turtles that's killing you, and you tell me no too, right? You got sea turtles and crickets, or sea turtles and grasshoppers. You telling me it's good. I'm saying, Seto, it's bad. And the next thing I know, in 10 years, I'm trying to talk to you, Seto, and you like this. Go ahead, Demore. I told myself, I said, let me go and mess with Demore. He gotta be live by now. Go ahead, Demore. Go ahead, you got it. Oh, my voice is all messed up saying that crazy stuff.
Yeah. So I was talking about Joey, who was handed a death sentence, and I was telling you this case it has a lot of twists to it, and so these are the last steps of the woman who was murdered. Her name was Monica. So I want you to listen to the story, then I'll tell you the details on why this case is so twisted.
The same day
Open.
Monica Kimani is believed to have been murdered and her body dumped in a bathtub, the prime suspect Joseph Irungu is reported to have walked into a club in Westlands in Nairobi wearing pajamas and slippers angry. He is said to have been looking for his fiancée, TV journalist Jackie Marive. He traced her to the club where she was partying with her colleagues and other friends. At the club, Maribe was seated in a corner on the rooftop of a popular club with a group of VIPs, including a governor. And when Irungu, in the company of about 7 men, tried to penetrate, he was stopped by the security. This agitated.
Yeah, so I want you to note first that she was in the presence of powerful people, including a governor. So I want you to mark that part, that she was in the company of powerful people, including a governor.
Irungu even more. Later, after the VIPs left the club, an agitated Irungu is said to have been involved in an altercation with Maribe before both left in a half. In yet another club, this time in Kilimani, Irungu and Maribe are said to have been in the company of other revelers when another altercation broke out. A witness says that Maribe might have made a comment that angered Irungu. She is then heard demanding the keys to her car and ATM cards. They then walked out. It is reported that they drove back to their Royal Park residence in Langata, where Irungu used a pistol to shoot himself on the upper side of his left chest in an alleged attempted suicide after the two fell out.
So the second part is him shooting himself on the chest for what they said was alleged suicide. So I want you to mark that also.
Irungu then immediately rushed to a Mr. Kasaine, his neighbor, whom he told to hide the gun. Kasaine obliged. He also collected one spent cartridge from the floor of the house. He was arrested after the pistol and 50 bullets were found hidden in the ceiling of his house. Maribe and other people who have been questioned first rushed Irungu to Nairobi West Hospital, but the victim was not attended to over unclear circumstances. They then drove to Kijambe Mission Hospital and later to Langata Hospital, where he was admitted until September 24th. They recorded a statement at the Langata police station where they told police that they had been attacked outside the house by 3 men on a motorbike. Maribe, together with her house girl, are said to have cleaned the scene of crime and allegedly destroyed what police term as key evidence. Irungu and Maribe are key suspects in the murder of Monica. Her throat had been slit and had a leg tied. Inside the house were 2 glasses of wine, a yellow bag with a piece of bread, injera, an Ethiopian delicacy, was also hanging from the main door. Victor.
Yeah, so those are the final steps. What they don't mention is that there was involvement of a briefcase from Sudan. So there were some people from Sudan who are also involved in this case, and it looks like, and a friend of Joey posted today on Instagram on a post that he later deleted. Allegedly, all this is allegedly, and he said that some people are setting up Joey for the murder, and they had promised him that if he agrees, if he admits to the murder, they were going to get him out of prison. So it looks like a whole
Set up.
circle of powerful
It looks,
people.
it looks like it's set up, and he's too stupid to know you don't do that because they're gonna
Mhm.
leave you out to dry because they, yeah. So they're gonna, yeah, they're gonna. So what they give him life in prison, or they gonna give him they're gonna give him an electric chair? What you say they gonna give him?
He was given a death sentence, but a death sentence in Kenya
Wow.
translates to life imprisonment.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Like yeah. So
so a friend of him posted today on Instagram, allegedly, everything is allegedly, and said that they had promised. It looks like they promised him that if he carries the baggage, if he says he was the one responsible, they were going to get him out of prison, because there are so many powerful people involved in this murder case, including a cabinet secretary, a governor, a minister, and even people from State House. It looks like there was a whole scheme going on between Kenya and South Sudan
it
that
was. It was.
somebody got involved in.
It was. Somebody was either doing something to this young woman, and they needed a fall guy to cover up, and him being too ignorant and scared of these people because they're supposed to pop. Like, nah, I'm not confessing to none of this shit. I ain't do none of it. So nah, nothing you can offer me. That happens when you're in desperate times and desperate straits. you'll do anything. They probably promised them some money too, not just that they get them off. You know, you do this, you'll be set up. You take care of you and your family. You know, not knowing all this is a lie. Like hell no, what? No, hell no, no. If you guys could conspire to murder each other, girl, what makes me believe that you're gonna do me right? That'd be stupid. You know.
Mhm.
So no, no amount of money you can give me to say, yeah, I can fix it. Hell no, I ain't got nothing to do with it. So, you know, um, it's sad, especially as corrupt as Kenya is. He never did. I confess to it. People have all
Mhm.
that power that they can still set him up, and him not having just the judicial system is so corrupt. Him even having the money to get a decent lawyer will still probably not work. Like you said, there's too many other powerful names that are connected
Yeah.
with this story.
Yeah, you heard that the woman was in the company of a governor even on the night of the murder, and that is it to do with Joey and the Kenyan corrupt judicial system. Whatever happened, maybe we will come to find out one day. Let us now head to the UK, where the UK has promised to pay asylum seekers $3,800 if they agree to move to Rwanda. So migrants
Yeah, but they don't
who are
want,
seeking, yeah,
but they don't want
migrants who are
to.
seeking asylum.
Nah, hell
Mhm.
nah.
So migrants who are seeking asylum claims will be given three
Keep that three
thousand eight
thousand dollars
hundred
for
US
Lord.
dollars to move to Rwanda.
You keep you keep that morning. I want you keep your $3,000.
So if you go to the UK seeking for asylum, seeking to stay there, then they're going to pay you 3,000 asylum. They're going to pay you $3,800 to go to Rwanda. It looks like they're trying to get people to Rwanda, and the UK already has a plan in place which pays failed asylum seekers to return to their home countries. So if you go to the UK seeking for asylum and they don't give it to you, they are going to pay you. So with the new measures, those who cannot return to their country of origin will be sent to Rwanda and they will be given 3,800. Imagine leaving your country because of war and then being sent to Rwanda. You're breaking, Keith. Looks like you are in a bad area.
I know. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, no, I'm breaking. I'm in a bad area. Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I know. Yeah, I'm breaking. I might lose you. If I lose you, I'll pop back in. Yeah, I'm in a bad area.
Okay. So
Yeah, I'm in a
the
bad
cash.
area.
Okay, the cash in exchange for moving to Rwanda is just another scheme by Prime Minister. Their Prime Minister is called Rishi Sunak, if I'm not wrong. Rishi Sunak looks like he doesn't want any more Africans or migrants in the UK. And so if you go there, they're gonna pay you and they're gonna see you off to Rwanda. Last week, the proposed legislation suffered a setback after the House of Lords passed 5 amendments. One of the amendments was that they did not see how they, I'll try, let me try and look for the whole amendment bill on what they amended on that. But before that, let me share with you this video of how now asylum seekers will be paid to go to Rwanda. The UK says it doesn't want any more migrants, any more asylum seekers in the UK.
Migrants whose asylum claims are rejected by the United Kingdom will be given £3,000 or $3,800 to move to Rwanda. The UK has already a plan in place which pays failed asylum seekers to return to their home countries. But the new measure targets those who cannot return to their countries of origin. The cash in exchange for moving to Rwanda is just another scheme in Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's ambitious plan to stop irregular migration. It does not replace the plan to deport illegal arrivals to Rwanda, which has been blocked by courts over concerns about the East African country's safety. To sidestep the court's concerns, the government introduced a bill which seeks to label Rwanda a safe country. Last week, the proposed legislation suffered a major setback after the House of Lords passed 5 amendments
which, if ratified, would make it harder for the House of Commons to declare Rwanda safe and would require the government to comply with domestic and international law. The bill compels judges to regard Rwanda as a safe
See, now
country.
they want to call it. Now they want to call it safe tomorrow when they always called it wicked and it's all dangerous. Now they want to move these people in there that don't want to go. Now we can just make it safe. See, this is how duplicitous these no good Europeans are, and how all their edicts are phony, not based on anything. It's only based on their whim of what they feel at the time, whether it can hurt you or help you. Now we can say your country's safe. When the years we were saying it was dangerous because it benefits Europeans. They don't believe in ethics. I'm losing you again. They have no ethics. It's situational ethics.
Yeah,
So
we
doing this,
we can hear you. We can hear you.
Oh, so doing this situation, now they're going to tell you that your country's safe. When the situation changes, they say, no, it's evil now. It's all wicked and bad. They have situational ethics, Demore. That's what these people, they're duplicitous at nature. They're duplicitous by nature, my fault. So they're doing situational ethics right now. So it benefits them. They have no ethics. It only depends on the situation. And they have moral relativism. You're looking at an immoral people. So whatever moral, it all depends on what's relative to them. Situational ethics and moral relativism. That's European culture. Now they say, oh, you know what? I know you said Rwanda was a bad country not to go there. Yeah, but for our situation now, we need to change it and say it's a good country. And then we'll change it back again. See, there's nothing ethnic about, there's nothing ethically about these people, nothing moral. It's moral relativism and situational ethics. You understand the European, they just don't believe nothing they say. It's only whatever they say that benefits them at that time, Demore. It's situational ethics with them. Go ahead, you got it.
Yeah, so that is what is going to be happening right now with what Kid is calling situational ethics. They are doing what will work for them, what is good for them. And let us now head to Egypt, to South Africa to be specific, where 3 Egyptian Coptic monks were killed in South Africa. So 3 Egyptian Coptic monks have been tragically killed in what is described as a criminal assault within a monastery in South Africa, according to Christian Coptic Orthodox Church of Egypt. The incident is under investigation by South African authority as triple murder.
Why is the Coptic Orthodox Church there when none of those people are the real Coptics anyway? Real Coptics are African. That's where you get the creation of the Bible and the Christianity fake shit. Came from there first. So which I'm sure there ain't no black people in the shit no more. So why are they down and having a monastery in South Africa? But none of you people are black and there is no Coptics to begin with. So I wonder why if people probably got annoyed and said, yeah, hey, get your ass out of here. They probably was racist. Talking about Coptic Christians. You people ain't no goddamn Coptic Christians. If you're not African, and I mean black African, you ain't no Coptic Christian. You can pretend to be anything you want, but you damn straight no Coptic. Go ahead.
Yeah, so South African authorities are investigating the case where the 3 were killed. The surviving monks alleged that they were attacked with an iron rod before escaping.
Damn.
Yep, so
I thought they died. I thought they died. How they escape if they're dead?
No, there are a few who survived. The attack was on a whole monastery. So 3 were killed, others survived.
So Demore is explaining. Demore is explaining what happens when you eat crickets. You have goddamn parasites in your body. So you see monks, you go, and like, what's going on with these? Hey,
and
hey, Jim,
and
hey, Jim,
the,
hey, Jim and Jam, I
yeah.
told you I was gonna come over and mess with Demore. I told you I was gonna come mess with Demore, Jim, but me and you was over there messing with Maria and Seto. That's what happened,
and
Demore. The
and
guy had parasites. He seen the
uh,
monks. He said,
let, let us finish with let us
go
finish
ahead,
with
go ahead, go
let us
ahead.
finish with let us finish with what I wanted to talk about
go,
today is
go
a
on.
little. I wanted us to talk a little about natural resource backed loans, which maybe you think it doesn't happen. We have 11 countries in Africa right now that are in natural resource backed loans currently. And this is something that Africans should stop doing. Not just the loans, but especially natural resource backed loans. This is where
Exactly.
we go to the Bretton Woods institution, we ask for loans, they give us loans, but because we do not have the money to pay back or because we are desperate, we tell them we are going to pay back
Mhm.
using our goal, using,
I
and
mean,
part of
you're gonna use
mhm,
real resources for
mhm.
fake paper money. Exactly. The scam.
one of
Exactly.
the countries one of the countries going through this right now is Chad. So Chad was in a financial crisis, went to the IMF, took a loan. It was an oil backed loan. It was an
Or
oil backed loan. And so right now, most of its oil proceeds goes to paying off its debt. And we have 11 other African countries that are doing the same. They go to the Bretton Woods institution, they are given worthless piece of paper, they're given worthless money that has nothing backed to it. It is money that does not have any backing to it. And a currency is supposed to be backed by something. So they
exactly.
give you worthless paper,
Exactly.
but then they take the natural resources that
Exactly.
are
But most people don't know the more that the money's not backed by nothing. African have been
mhm.
taught exactly. Backed by nothing. That would happen when you got that parasite, you go
and, and, and
hey nigga,
actually,
we're gonna give you a loan backed on nothing.
uh, and, and I'll make sure out to Gary Harrison knows it does. He says, if you want to understand European culture, study psychopathy, read Machiavelli, the Prince, 48
The
Laws of
prince.
Power.
The prince.
48 Laws
Yeah.
of Power is by Robert Greens. I've read some Machiavelli, the Prince Machiavelli, also Danny Harrison. And the book Keith gave us. Which is that book, Keith?
Which one is that one, which book?
That he's saying that or something. What book is that? I've never heard of it.
Let me see.
Machiavelli, I know. Robert Greens, I've read, but I've never
Oh,
heard of
dirt.
which other
He's
book.
talking
Yeah.
about dirt. Oh yeah, I should give it away. It's called Dirt tomorrow. It's in the European culture before. It's a book called. Damn, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, Danny. Take it back. It's a book I used to make people read. Demore. It's called
Mm-hmm.
Dirt. So it's the true history of the Europeans being filthy, dirty, backward, couldn't read, didn't wash their ass, and they couldn't change their clothes.
Mm-hmm.
They would have sex with animals. And so the book is called Dirt. I forgot who's the damn author,
Is it
man.
David Montgomery or something? Is it that book?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Look at it. Yeah, it's the study of European culture. Yeah, it'd be on
Let
there.
me
Somebody
let
said
me
it's called.
let me share the screen so that you can tell me if it's the same book, so that I don't
Yeah,
go
because
and read the wrong one.
there's a couple of them called Dirt.
Is,
Here's the one. Let me see.
is it this one?
A book so low. What's it saying? Dirt. What is it saying? What's his name?
The Erosion of
John McCall.
Civilization.
What now?
It's called that. The Erosion of Civilizations. Is it that one?
Yeah, that's probably who's the author of it, Demore?
David Montgomery or something.
That I think that's probably him. I think that's it. I think that's it. I'm on my phone. I can't always look and see, but I think that's it. Yeah, but some about civilization. Yeah. So
Oh,
it was like
all right.
it
I'll
was
check
like
it out. Thank you, Danny Harrison, and
I forgot all about that book. I forgot I used to make you guys read that book, Danny, back and I forgot all about that book. I had to make
Mhm.
people, I had to get that book out for free back in the day. Say, read this damn book so you know who the European psychopathy you're dealing with. And it's not a black man, right? It's a European telling on his own people, telling the truth of their own history, of their own psychopathy, you know, spelling all lies and black people think, oh, these white people was great and they came to Africa and they were so smart. That's a goddamn lie. Everything they got, they stole from African people or were taught by African people. They're coming out of Europe, dirty, filthy, stank, can't farm, dumb as hell, can't read nor write. That's the true history. And so he wrote the book called Dirt, a compilation of their history. Because they've always, it's only in the recent history that the Europeans now got clean and put on a suit and tie. He was always filthy.
It actually looks like I've shared the wrong dat. Don't read this dat. Jiba Jaba is telling me it's by James McLaughlin. Let me share the
Yeah,
one that
that's
Jiba
it,
Jaba is
James
telling.
McLaughlin. That's it. That's it. You remember Jimmy
Yeah,
J, that's it.
I'm sharing the wrong dat here.
You didn't know shit. I didn't.
Yeah, so
I
it's
couldn't.
this one.
Yeah, I forgot. I forgot the author's name. Yeah, that's it. That's the real one.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Jiba. Thank you, Jiba. So it's the one that I've shared on the screen. It's the one that Keith is talking about by
Yeah, that's
James.
it. That's it.
I'll make sure
Okay.
I get that. I'll make sure I get that and see what it talks about. So I wanted us to
No.
talk about. I
Now,
wanted
no,
us to
tomorrow
talk.
when you get done reading that book, you're gonna be like,
No, come on.
go ahead, go ahead, go
And
ahead. Go ahead, tomorrow, go ahead.
I
Go
have
ahead.
to. I personally have two. I have several. I have problems with natural resources backed loans. One of the problems is it is hard for us to tell the value of the assets or property. So you find that the value that you are paying for the loans is much higher than the assets,
Of
than the
course,
loan that you took. You take a loan worth 100 million, but you give out assets worth more than that because
of course.
it's hard for you to actually come up with a price for
Value.
for,
Mm-hmm.
for the value for the assets. The second thing is in this negotiation table, the African country is always the one that is on the begging side. And as you know, the one that is on
True.
the begging side does not have the upper power, does not have the upper hand.
Then have
So
a
the person
negotiating
who's
power,
on the other
Jack.
side of the table is the one who is going to say how much they are valuing the
That's
resources, is the one who's going to give the terms for the loans. So it is never
you're
going to
borrowing from
be, yeah,
you're borrowing from a a place of weakness and not a
yeah.
place of strength. And
Mhm,
really, the strength is yours, but as African people, you've been too weak. Say, hey, this is what this shit is worth. You want it.
mhm,
See, see, you don't need nobody's fake paper. Without the minerals, shit don't get made. People need the minerals. The fake paper is fake paper. It's only
mhm,
what I say it's worth. But the minerals you have, that's needed. That's the real wealth. And since you haven't leveraged that, you've been too
mhm,
cowardly to leverage. Hey, you gotta take it, you don't. Well, this is what we're gonna give you. I'm like, well, you don't get it. See, with them, the white man's gonna come with you with war. As an
mhm,
African, you were supposed to build a real military. Say, bring it on, motherfucker. It is what it is. This is the price. Take it or leave it. See, but they can't leave it. Without your shit, don't nothing get built. Don't nothing get made. Nobody has a cell phone. Nobody has a computer. Nobody has a satellite. Nobody has a car. Nobody has an airplane. See, without your shit don't get the real shit that move the planet don't get made. So the leverage is really with you. But you've been too scared to say, hey, because you know the white man's gonna come with a military smash in your mouth.
mhm,
You've been too cowardly not to make your own real military and say, that's what the price is. That's what it is. Take it or leave it. See, with power, then you can force him because he has no choice but to take your price because you got a military backing it up.
mhm,
This is it. This is what it is. Either you pay it or you don't get it. See, but they got to take it because if they don't, their whole civilization crumbles and they go right back to what? Dirt. Right back to where they started from, dirt. Without Africa, they're back in the dirt. See, they know that. Go ahead.
And
Go ahead, Demar.
before you start talking about how Chinese people are our friends and they are here to
Oh
help us,
man.
I want you to understand one thing. I said there are 11 African countries that I saw from the records that have loans worth billions of dollars that are secured with their natural resources. And
Of
China
course.
is the top source of funding through this policy.
Of course. So China, what does China not have, Demore? Resources. Without those resources, Demore, the Chinese manufacturing that made them wealthy comes to what? I stopped. So they were set up. The reason why China's in Africa was set up by the cats with the small hand. Without those resources, Demore, their manufacturing power comes to an end, and their currency becomes what? Worthless. So see, it's a need. But the Africans have been too damn stupid and raised too dumb. They don't know the levels. Hey, you need me. I don't need no Chinese motherfuckers. Everything I got, I learn on my own. You don't need nothing. The African doesn't need anybody, Demore. This is the dirty little secret of the world.
I wish I could access. Ghana recently had a bailout from the IMF that was unseen. We did not expect them to be bailed out from the IMF that they are owing. So I wish I could access their loan statement. Of course, they can't put it online or in the public domain, but I suspect that Ghana, for them to be bailed out, they also had to put in some natural resource
Of course.
backing for
Resource,
them to be
not just
bailed out.
resources, not just resources, what they do. Resources, I told you. I told now, we're going to go what you were talking about a couple of months ago. Not just the resources, Demore, the companies in your country. I want those companies in your country. So now I dictate what the prices are. I don't care about the people can't pay them. I want your power company. I want your water company. This called crisis capital. They come steal everything from you with those fake loans. They want the real shit. They want what's real. So
my
that's
suspicion might actually be true, because how they bail out Ghana in an instant, I guess it was because they knew that Ghana is the second largest producer of gold in Africa.
Yeah.
And so they were there to help Ghana out when Ghana was in economic town. Not really help them out. I'm saying it wrongly.
No.
They were there to help Ghana deep into the pit.
They put they put you in debt, but they know you can't get. And then them gold mines. You need to give them gold mines to pay off some of that debt. So I get the real wealth of the country. I gave you fake papers, Demore. That's how we're Kenya. I need your power company. You can't really do power right. You need to give it over to us anyway for some of them loans that you owe us. Then they can up the rates, squeeze the people, and have perpetual real wealth coming into them. And then see, when you own the country's infrastructure, Demore, too, as well, the loans and the infrastructure, you own the country. You own the just make it with puppets in there. I own the shit. You do what I told you to do. I'll turn the lights off in this bitch. That's why you never let no foreign people own your companies in your country. That's what they do. Just go research it tomorrow tonight when you get a chance. What they've done in South America, how the CIA is coming in and they'll steal the companies. That's what they're doing in Africa. So when you see talking about, you Africans cannot run businesses. We need to come in and do investments. Africa doesn't need any investments, Demore. You have everything. Either you want it and pay for it or you don't. I don't need no money from nobody. You Africa. You got everything. You don't need shit. Either you look, pay for it. I don't want your loans. You want what I got? Yeah, you need it. I know you need it. You got to pay for it or you don't get it. Right? And you're going to manufacture here so my people have jobs. Okay? We're going to give it to you. We're going to give you a good price. But the manufacturing of anything is going to be in Kenya. Not going to be in China. It's going to be in Kenya. And we're going to run it. Chinese are not going to run it. Germans are not going to run it. Japanese are not going to run it. British are not going to run it. The African is going to run the shit. because it's African resources that you need. And if you don't, of course, we know you're coming with war, but motherfucker, let it be war then. Let it be war. Because that's how Africa's going to get free. Because no one's going to let the gold, Africa's the golden goose. And nobody's going to let the golden goose go.
And as we come to the end update, I'll end with their philosophy. And I know their philosophy is from the words of Maya Armstrong Rothschild, who said, "Give me control of a nation's money supply, and I care not who makes it flow."
I care not what puppet sits on the throne or sits president. You're right. Remember, Rothschilds are the cats with the small hats. They came and got the American money supply in 1913. Somebody had to more look it up. See, that's not the Americans don't control that dollar. The Rothschilds own that. The Rothschilds and the Rockefellers own the American currency. The American government don't own that shit. The Rothschilds and the Rockefellers own that shit. And they'll do what they want to do with it. So, but you know, see, we don't know this good. This is why they want to get rid of TikTok and everything else, because everybody's now waking up and say, oh, how the hell these families own the banks? How the Rothschilds own the Bank of Kenya? When I had Candy there working from her crazy ass, I said, who do you think owns the Bank of Kenya, Candy? We own it. I said, you don't own a goddamn thing. The Rothschilds own the Bank of Kenya. They own the Bank of Nigeria, the Bank of Botswana, the Bank of fucking South Africa. They own every goddamn major bank on the planet. It is safe. The Bank of Kenya. Don't nobody Kenyan own none of it. The Rothschilds dictate policy in Kenya. Monetary policy is dictated through the Rothschild Central Bank in Kenya. They decide how much the shilling is going to be. If you think, oh, the shilling is going up against the dollar, motherfucker, they control both of them. Yeah, you didn't know that, huh? I know. Surprising. You think you bad at all? It's a real geopolitical move. Hey, moron. The Rothschilds control the American currency, the British currency, the Kenyan currency, the Nigerian currency. They control it all. I think it's maybe three. Do this one before we leave, Mark. Say, I think the only bank they don't got is North Korea. Say what bank, that's why I tell you, the Chinese central bank is owned by the Rothschilds. Okay? Say what central bank in the world is not owned by the Rothschild family? So what central bank, now they're probably going to lie about that because it's too much, everybody knows it now. I'm going to see what Google says. So back going to be some lies. Say what central bank in the world do the Rothschild family not own?
Let me see the propaganda that I'll be served. They start with a fact check. The fact check says central banks are publicly owned, not controlled by the Rothschild family.
Now remember, the fact checks are them. These fake fact checks are them. Central banks are not owned, they're owned by the public. The public don't own none of these banks. Where the public own the bank at? Where's my shares at? Is that right there? It's fucking a straight lie. Where the public shares then at? Where your public shares of the Bank of Kenya, Demore? You got them underneath your mattress? Where that? owned by the public. See, that's how you know they're lying, family. Why would they even mention the Rothschild family then? Because they know you're looking up now. Why would they mention that family when you ask the question about the family? Because they know everybody's looking for what Demore just said. Everybody's looking now. So you may tell me the city of London? Pull this up, Demore. Let's see this. Say, is the city of London, not London City, because I want you guys to know, you got a city inside of England and inside of London called the City of London, not London. Like Joe Mosquito lives in London City. He can't take his black ass into the City of London. So I want you to same way I can't go to the UN the UN shit in Kenya, right? So put it up tomorrow. Say who owns who owns the city of London? Who owns the city of London? Oh, this is a conspiracy that doesn't exist. It doesn't.
They say it's a corporate entity since the 13th century.
It's a corporate entity, yes, but who owns it? It's a corporate. Who owns a corporation? They call it the Rothschilds, Demore, and it's not. Imagine that, and Demore, it's in England. It's in the capital city, and it's not controlled by the British, Demore. It's not controlled. Nobody's not controlled by the British. It's controlled by the most powerful motherfuckers on the planet. It's in London, Demore. At least they didn't lie about that. It's a corporate entity. They didn't tell you it's part of the British Empire because it's the shit that runs the British Empire. And the Queen and King are not even allowed in the city without permission, Demore. Let's say I'm Queen Elizabeth. She's not allowed to go to the city of London, Demore, when she was alive without permission. The Ross said, bitch, you better not bring your ass there without giving us a letter. Then we'll let you know we're gonna let you up in here or not. That's a fact.
They never lied when they said, "Give me the country's money supply, and I care
That's
not
right.
who sits." Yeah, I care not who sits at the throne.
Exactly, because I control you. Because I put my puppets in there with the money supply. I pay you off. Exactly right, Demore. So now you learn something called the city of London, Demore. It's there in England. And it
Is it
actually
in
runs
London?
England. Yes, it's in London. It's in the middle of London. It's called the City of London. Inside London City. Yeah, Demore. But me and your black ass can't go there.
Mm-hmm. And as we come to the end, Joby is coming up in a bit. That was all we had on the Black Hot Fire News update on a night where.
But see, now I want you to see how you went through and debunked the lies and said the Rothschilds don't own the banks of public. And you just went to where the seat of power is in the city of London, where the Rothschilds own the banks. It tells you the corporation that owns that city. How can a corporation own a city, Demore? And who owns that corporation? The fucking Rothschilds. That's who.
But of course, they're never going to tell you that. So that was all we had on the Black Hot Fire News after a night where British military.
And when I found out about it, I said,
It is a night where the British military reported pirate attacks off Somalia. It is also a night where 3 Egyptian Coptic monks were killed in South Africa. It is also a night where UK is going to pay asylum seekers £3,000 to move to Rwanda. It is also a night where at least 4 people died in Mozambique following a storm named Filippo. It is also a night where Kenyan man Joey Irungu was sentenced to life imprisonment for the murder of Monica Kimani. So that was all we had. That is what has been happening throughout the whole of Africa. And a big thank you to Danny Harrison, Jiba Jaba, and everybody else who was with me in the comments and maybe did not comment. And of course, to all those going to watch this.
Sorry to Joey.
Later.
Joey, when you get out of prison, you're going to be...
Make sure to join Joby in the next few minutes. He'll be up here with
I told you, Jibba Jabba, I was going to get the boring.
Are you going to be with Joby, Keith?
Nah, Joby probably listening to it now. Is Joby in there? Or she out the room?
Yeah, she's actually standing right next to me. She's about to.
I can't get it in. Sure knows I'll do it. But that's why I got Maria. Maria was laughing her ass falling on the ground. It was funny.
And Jabba tells me, don't eat any crickets. I'm not gonna eat any crickets, Jibba. I don't want to do that kid impression of people who eat.
That's Seto. I told Seto, man, when he go home to his mama, baby, did you go to church? That's what happened. That would happen when you're full of parasites, Demore. You got parasites in you.
I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, family, and make sure to join me tomorrow from 7 p.m. as we look at what will be happening throughout Africa and what was hitting the headline. So it's always a pleasure having you, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, it don't need no parasites, nigga.
Much love, kids.
Much love to Moray. They away from crickets, nigga. Shit. Cricket eating.
Did they give you papa?
They tried to look it up tomorrow. Google and change it. Look, Keith, it says it's nutrition. I said, nigga, if you eat something with a head on it, with a bug, I said, Seto, are you eating the bugs, the head of it too? He said, yes, I eat the bug head. I said, nigga, you don't know this, you don't think there's something wrong with that? You sitting there eating a whole bug head. You don't think it's something wrong with that? Bug head.
No, don't make those noise. Don't make those noise. I don't like it. I don't. Thank you. Yeah, good night.
Why do you like those noise? Why do you like those noises, Joby?
Nah, I don't like the noise.
Yeah. You gotta end the show, Joby. Tomorrow we got to hit the stop button.